school's out, blame corona, but I still got some science I could show ya. No class, no school, that's cool, throw the class on the YouTube. Even if they shut the school down, I'll get that knowledge anyway somehow. Real scholars won't stop for corona. Tune in for that science takeover.
Hello everybody, welcome to Mrs. Finney's science class. Shout out to the HB Warriors, to all of our subscribers, and to all of our visitors from my house to your house. Let's learn science. Today we're starting off with lesson 10, day 1, section 1. What's in lesson 10? What are we going to talk about? Let's take a look. So today we start the topic of genes and the environment. Section 1 titled, Effects of Genes and the Environment on Traits. What is the learning objective? I can give examples of traits strongly influenced by genes and examples of traits strongly influenced by environment. Let's get into our reading. At the top here it says, have you ever heard the phrase nature versus nurture? Nature refers to the genes that influence traits. When people tell you that you have your mother's eyes, they're referring to the alleles of your parents' genes you inherited. Nurture refers to the environmental factors that affect traits. The kind and amount of food you eat can affect the way your body looks. This question is meant to ask whether a trait is determined by someone's genes or by the environment. But this question is flawed. Why? Traits strongly influenced by genes and environment. Some traits are highly influenced by genes or the environment, but most are not determined by one or the other factor. Most traits are strongly influenced by both genes and the environment. For example, many people have the ability to recognize if a sound is higher or lower pitched than another sound. However, fewer people have a trait known as perfect pitch. Have you ever heard of perfect pitch? Do you know anyone that has been said to have perfect pitch? Perfect pitch is the ability to identify or produce a musical note without comparing it to another note. If someone played a note on the piano, these people will be able to name or recreate the note without hearing any other note. This trait can run in families and seems to be controlled by at least one allele of a gene. Here's a picture. All right. Then it says, however, having this allele or alleles is not enough to develop the ability. Studies suggest that some musical training or exposure to certain languages where the tone of a word helps to express its meaning during early childhood is also necessary for this inherited trait to be expressed. Traits strongly influenced by genes. For some traits, there is a greater probability that the organism's genes are the main reason this trait is expressed. Look at the picture of the trees at the beginning of this lesson. They are all different kinds of trees that are all different heights, but growing in the same area. Since they are exposed to the same environmental factors, the environment is less likely to be the reason they are different heights. One species might grow taller because it has different alleles of genes that result in growing taller. I want to take you back so you can actually see this image. Okay. So here's a picture, and you see trees, same environment, different heights, obviously, and I'm sure we've all seen this before. Okay? All right, so let's go back. So in the reading, I want to go to the next section. All right, similarly, animals can have different genetically controlled traits even if they are the same species. Belgian blues are a type of cattle that make a lot of muscle. The environment has only a small effect on muscle development in these cattle. Evidence for this is that even newborn calves are born with much larger muscles than calves of other breeds have. Belgian blues develop more muscles because they have a different allele of one gene than other cattle breeds have. Okay? This allele causes them to develop more muscle. Although the amount of muscle in a cow can vary depending on environmental factors like exercising more, a Belgian blue will still have more muscle than a well-exercised cow of another type. In this example, genetics is a very strong influencing factor on the expression of this trait. Traits strongly influenced by the environment. Although most traits have some influence from genes, many can be strongly influenced by environmental factors. The two flamingos shown here are the same species with very similar genes, but one, check this out, has eaten a diet of more shrimp, and the other has eaten a diet with less shrimp. What do you think is going to happen to the one that has more shrimp? Let's take a look. So, the feathers of flamingos are pink because they eat shrimp that contain pink pigments. Flamingos that have eaten less shrimp will be less pink, even if they are genetically similar. There's your reason why you may see flamingos with different colors, one being less pink than the other. Interesting, right? All because of shrimp. Do you like shrimp? I actually like shrimp. How do you like your shrimp? Drop that in the comment section, please. Or what kind of seafood do you like, if you like seafood at all? I really like grilled salmon. I know we're going a little off right here, but this just brought this to mind. I like grilled salmon. And I like all types of shrimp. Coconut shrimp. Yes, coconut shrimp is really good. Drop in your comment section, what's your favorite seafood? And if you like shrimp, how do you like your shrimp? I would love to know. All right, moving forward here. What and how much an organism eats is an example of an environmental factor. Shrimp contain pink pigments. When a flamingo eats shrimp, the pigment accumulate in the bird's feathers and make them pink. In this example, the environmental factor of what the flamingo eats is a very strong influencing factor on its pink colored trait. I want to take a look at a video. Oh, and this is our picture of Belgian blue cattle. So muscular, right? All right. And it reads, the Belgian blue cattle have an allele of a gene that causes them to make a lot of muscle tissue compared to other cattle breeds. They're even born muscular without ever having exercised. Just buff at birth. Buff at birth. Buff at birth. Yeah. Have you seen any babies, humans, that just seem stocky from the start? I don't know. I've seen some that's been like, wow, you look strong already. You're only like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months old. Yeah. But Belgian blue is a different scenario, obviously. Okay, I want to show you guys a video that has to deal with nature versus nurture, since that's our topic. And this is looking into the study of twins. Let's take a look.
Identical twins start out as a bizarre accident. As with the rest of us, when sperm meets egg, an individual is formed. But then something remarkable happens. The single developing embryo splits to form two identical people. So it's not surprising, since they started out as one person, that they're so much alike. But similarity is boring, scientifically speaking. It's really the differences that are the thin end of the wedge. They allow us to get inside the nature of all our lives. Corey and Eric are, believe it or not, identical. Yet Eric is much bigger than Corey and has been since he was born. Next to their older brother Tyler, you'd think there were three brothers of different ages.
He's bigger than him. And I'm bigger than him.
And my head's bigger than Corey's. He doesn't like when I punch him. I love he'll punch me right
The
now.
differences between twins begin to appear almost from conception. It's not fair, but one twin often gets the lion's share of nutrition in the womb. Corey and Eric's case is severe, and that's why Corey came out so much smaller. And the effects of being malnourished as a fetus can persist into adulthood. At the University of Louisville, they've been studying twins for over 40 years. Hundreds of twins have passed through here.
And Eric, you can stand right next to him, right there, okay? Okay.
Corey and Eric have been visiting the university since they were born. Here, they are regularly weighed, measured, and they have their IQ
You weigh
tested.
44 and a half pounds.
Other than the fact that one of them is taller than the other one, they're as much alike as any pair of identical twins for the basic building blocks, intelligence, personality, and temperament that we see in any of these pairs.
Now, look at this puzzle. Put
The
this one
biggest
together
single
as fast as you
factor in determining intelligence is our genes. But environmental influences such as food, education, and most of all parents can have important stimulating
Put this one
or
together as fast
stunting
as you can.
effects.
can. Tell me when you're finished.
When Corey was first tested, he was not only shorter than Eric, he also had a lower IQ. The remedy was that both twins got lots of stimulation at home and at the institute. Corey's IQ score rose fast. Eric's didn't.
It's not
Now they have similar scores.
okay. First,
What this research shows is that intelligence is like height. Without proper stimulation, you'll never reach your genetic potential. But equally, if you're already there, you probably won't go much higher. It's an example of the value of twins to science. Plainly, we could design an experiment like this for rats, but not for humans. It would be too cruel.
So if you want to make a prediction about a twin's intelligence by the time they reach their adult years, your best prediction can be made on the basis of how far the mother and the father went to school.
It seems you can't make children taller or smarter than they are programmed to be. Like athletic ability, intelligence can certainly be nurtured. But unless it's already in the genes, serenading your baby with Mozart is not going to make it into a genius.
Welcome back. Such an interesting video about twins. Do you know any twins? Do you have twins in your family? Yay? Nay? Personalities? Do you find them to be like a lot alike? Not alike? That much? You know? What would you say? Drop your comments below. Let's check for understanding. We want to do a drag and drop the truth statements on to the image. How many? 3. All right, here we go. First one. What would you select? True statements only. Environmental factors do not influence the traits of an organism. How do you feel about that? True? False? Don't drag and drop it. Okay, got you. I got you. Here we go. The height of trees is an example of a trait that is determined by only environmental factors with no genetic influence. True? False? How do you feel about that? Don't. Leave it? Leave it? Okay, cool. All right, here we go. Traits are not entirely determined by genes. How do you feel about that one? True or false? Yeah, I think we're here on this one. I think we're here. Here we go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I need you to pick it up. Drag and drop. Drag. see, this is just being a little bit stubborn today. Here we go, next one. Animals of the same species can have different genetically controlled traits. What do you think? True or false? Drag, drop, you think? Okay. All right. Give it a shot. Some traits are influenced by both genes and the environment. All right, let's pull that one. Okay. But we'll see. Are we correct 100%? Maybe just a few. Dun 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 dun. Check. Answers. 100%. Give yourself a round of applause. Yay. Next, let's check the bottom. Inside of your TCI program, make sure you go to Lesson 10, Section 1, and answer these questions. Here it goes. It says, which of these statements is most accurate? I want to enlarge this. Which of these statements is most accurate? A, each trait is determined by either genes or the environment. B, only a few traits are influenced by both genes and the environment. Or C, most traits are strongly influenced by both genes and the environment. Do you want to go with A, B, or C? Your choice. For the win, for the win. Let's see what we have. C, most traits are strongly influenced by both genes and the environment. Yes, yes. Thank you all for coming out this evening. I really appreciate it. It's been a lot of hard work. Lesson 10, Section 1. I just want to thank everybody who believed in me. Here we go. Number 2. How is having perfect pitch dependent on both genes and the environment? What would you say? Just take the stage. I want to hear you out on this one. How is having perfect pitch dependent on both genes and the environment? I know you know. Great answer. Great answer. I like it. I like it. Drum roll. Only people with the allele or alleles for perfect pitch develop this ability. But they only develop the ability if they are exposed to environmental factors like using a language where tone contributes to meaning. All right. I want to leave this up here for you for a few seconds so you can see it. Number 3. What is an example of a trait that develops differently in species that have different genes for that trait? An example. I'll read it again. What is an example of a trait that develops differently in species that have different genes for that trait? Okay. Height is an example. Height in different species of trees. Make sure you jot that down. That's number 3. Number 4. Why do Belgian blue cattle have more muscle than other cattle? Is there an influence from both genes and the environment in this case? What do you think? Genes and the environment, or just one or the other? And explain. All right, here we go. Whoa, look at this explanation. Going to enlarge this so we can read this together. They have certain alleles that lead to building more muscle. We know that. We know this because even when born with no chance to exercise, they have a lot more muscle. Yes, exercise can always influence muscle growth in Belgian blues and other cattle, but the Belgian blues have the ability to build more muscles due to their genes and will be very muscular with less exercise than is needed in other individuals. All right, I'm going to shrink this down a bit so you can capture what you need. All right, here we go. Number 5. Why do some flamingos have pinker feathers than others? Is there an influence from both genes and the environment in this case? Explain. I know you know this answer. Last one for the day. Why? What happened? I'm going to show you this answer because I already know you know. Yeah, I already know. You know this. When flamingos eat what? Pink shrimp. The color goes to their feathers. So birds that eat more shrimp get pinker feathers. And yes, the environment determines how pink flamingos get, but the genes carried by all flamingos control the body processes that channel pink from shrimp into the feathers. Other species don't turn pink when they eat shrimp. I'm glad we don't turn pink when we eat shrimp. It's be horrible, you know? You just walk into a room and someone looks at you like, oh, I see, you must have had some shrimp recently. Looking kind of pink over there. How was it? How was the shrimp? Just so glad we don't turn pink when we eat shrimp. All right, we're wrapping up for today. Let's check out our essential question. Why is the statement nature versus nurture flawed? Answer. Some traits are highly influenced by genes or the environment, but most are not determined by one or the other factor. Most traits are strongly influenced by both genes and the environment. All right, let's wrap up for today with our outro. You go ahead and take the lead. It's been fun. It's been real. We break it down and pick up science skills. Give yourself 2 claps just for tuning in. Come back, meet tomorrow. We can learn again. Oh, it's been fun. It's been real. We break it down and pick up science skills. Give yourself 2 claps just for tuning in. Come back, meet tomorrow. We can learn again. I will see you all tomorrow. Have an awesome rest of your day. Peace.